It's Baz.
Huh.
It's almost football time.
Yeah.
I'm so freaking happy.
Yeah.
Darn it. Let's just go. I am redoing that song.
I love it, dude. I just love the theme of it. The music. It's got that jive.
I can only tell AI to do so much, and then it just interprets what I tell it to do.
It's awesome. It's funky. It works.
All right, we'll see if people like it. Anyways, welcome in everyone. Multi-streaming tonight once again for the last time, by the way. For the last time. So if you're on the Exploring with Ben and Sam channel on YouTube, please go into the description, find the Quacking Off channel link that's hyperlinked down there in the description. Get over there because as of this weekend during the post-game live, we will be solely on the Quacking Off channel on YouTube. So please go over and hit that subscribe. Spaz, how are you doing quickly tonight?
Doing good. Just getting excited, man. We're what? 3 days in a wake up.
It's coming on quick now. Week 0. Ooh, it's out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, let's get into this right away. Game 1.
Yeah.
So excited. And I want to welcome in our guest because we don't want to waste any of his time because he was gracious enough on such short notice to come on and talk Montana State with us because we are not Montana State experts by any means. So please, everyone, welcome in Braden Shaw.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Hey, welcome in, Braden. Glad to have you.
Yeah, glad to be here. Not sure I'm a Montana State expert by any means, but I've been around the block a little bit, so hopefully I can provide some insight.
Much better than us, by all means. I've been looking into it for the last few days, and I'm like, I am so lost trying to look between last year's roster, this year's roster, the coaching staffs. It's just a lot of information to take in.
Yeah, and a lot of change. I mean, this is, they return a lot of talent on this year's Montana State team, but there's a lot of new too. I mean, new offensive and defensive coordinators, new quarterback, a lot of new pieces on both offense and defense and special teams. So it'll be interesting to see how they look Saturday.
Well, and that was the one thing. And before we get into it real quick, for people that don't know, obviously, we just kind of came across you. You just met us for the last, 15 minutes, basically, backstage.
Yeah.
Tell everyone, who you are briefly, what you do, your experience. Because we were talking, and I was like, well, I mean, he definitely knows. You definitely have quite a bit of experience with Montana State, though.
Yeah, so I am a sports reporter, sports writer for the Bozeman Daily Chronicle, which is the newspaper up here in Bozeman, Montana. I cover Montana State and high school sports up here. During the fall, I'm kind of, almost entirely solely focused on Montana State football. Been here, since January 22, so this will be my 4th season covering the Cats. I was there all through last year, that run where they started 15-0 and made the national title game in Frisco. So yeah, I've been around the block a little bit in terms of Brent Vegan, the head coach, and in this team. So yeah.
What was that run like last year?
It was crazy. I mean, it started off with a comeback win at New Mexico. And a game that was, I mean, honestly, just ridiculous to watch because Montana State gave up 2 strip sacks, which is just something that doesn't happen, with their offensive line and their star quarterback Tommy Mellott, and there was this crazy windstorm in the middle of the game where, things are flying around on the field. You just don't really know what to make sense of it. And then they just have this crazy comeback, including, this 90+ yard run from Adam Jones to kind of get them back in it. And it was just kind of, that was just one moment of resilience, I suppose, for their team. And they had this, this 1-0 mentality they kept repeating throughout the season. And it just kept carrying on throughout the year. They had another close call at UC Davis, which is another one of the top teams in the Big Sky. That was a close game. They ended up intercepting a 2-point conversion to hold that one off. I think it was 30-28 was the final. They ran through the playoffs. Beat their rival Montana to end the regular season. Ran through the playoffs, and then, ran into the juggernaut, North Dakota State, in the title game, right? The Alabama of FCS, if you will. And they had a terrible start, quite frankly. I mean, just to put it bluntly. And, they had to come back a little bit. I mean, they made it a close game by the end of it, but they just gave up too many explosives and had a poor start. And, it is what it is. But, they're still, 15-1, made the national title game, still one of the best teams in program history, led by a ton of seniors last year. I think they had 23, I want to say was the number. They had their quarterback, Tommy Malott, Touchdown Tommy is what they called him. He got drafted by the Raiders, just got waived today, but he'll probably make practice squad or something. But he was named the Walter Payton Award winner, which is basically like the offensive Heisman of FCS. Had several All-Americans outside of that. But yeah, it huge, senior-laden team last year, which kind of makes this year interesting considering they graduated so many people, and they're going to have a lot more younger guys step up in 25 theoretically. So,
well, that's what I was going to say. I was like, one, yes, you never want to meet North Dakota State in Frisco, Texas. Their fans basically live there,
right?
Every year.
Yeah. I mean, some of them are bored of it at this point. I mean, it's just like rinse, repeat.
They just constantly travel down there to tailgate, and they're like, Frisco again? I'm like, all right. I know Frisco, Texas. I know where it is. It's north of Dallas. So it's like
well, the interesting thing is they'd gone on a bit of a title drought, if you will, because South Dakota State, their rival, had a mini run there with the back-to-back titles.
The Jackrabbits.
Yeah, the Jackrabbits, who Montana State will play in week 2, actually, after Oregon. But so I guess there may have been a little bit of a hunger there for the North Dakota State guys, considering they've taken a couple years off from winning a title.
Well, that's definitely a rough start for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because Montana State and South Dakota State have a bit of a rivalry too, just in recent years. I mean, they beat South Dakota State at home in 21 to make it to the national title game in 21, where they also lost to North Dakota State right before I got here. And then in 22, they lost in the FCS semifinals, which is one of the coldest sporting events I've ever been to. It was 9 degrees at kickoff. The field, without hyperbole, was basically a skating rink. Thankfully I was in the press box for most of that, but no, they just, that was just tough sledding. No pun intended. I mean, so they lost that game, pretty handily. 23, they go back to South Dakota State, and play them really close. I mean, they shut them out in the first half. I mean, they block a punt. Like, it's a pretty low scoring game, but they're, if they could have just punched it in from the red zone, like they should have won that game fairly easily, but they just couldn't score a touchdown. They kept settling for field goals. And they had a play at the end of that game that people still bring up to this day and probably will, for years to come. But there was a play near the end of regulation where a receiver, Cleveland Thomas Jr., caught a ball in the back of the end zone and was ruled a touchdown. And everybody, people were running on the field celebrating, oh my goodness, blah, blah. And they review it and he ruled him out of bounds. And there are people, they treat this like the Zapruder film, like it's just like JFK assassination type stuff, like where like, oh, his foot, like if you zoom in here, like I can see his foot, there's green or blue or whatever, and oh my goodness, no, he's not out, and you can see the turf kicking up here, and I'm just like, I don't know, man, like if you guys, I think you guys had plenty of chances to win this game. I don't think you need to zoom in on this one play, but whatever. So anyway, all that to say is they've had several run-ins with South Dakota State in recent years, as almost as many as North Dakota State. So I think that'll be a huge game, and it'll be the home opener. The home opener for Montana State is always the Gold Rush game, which entails, not only the players wearing gold jerseys, but all the fans, all the stands, all 20,000 people in there are going to be decked out in gold. And so it's kind of this fun tradition. They design a T-shirt every year. They have a contest or whatever, and somebody designs a T-shirt. And most of them, everybody, all the fans wear it. And on top of that, they have one of the cooler runouts in college football. Quite frankly, they have the rodeo team on horseback lead them out in front of all the players running to the field, and fireworks and everything. So anyway,
Well, that sounds like a great homeowner one. Flashy. Don't worry, the Ducks, I believe, are just wearing green and yellow. The wing green and yellow with the wings or whatever. I think that's what they said they were going to wear this weekend.
They come out tomorrow.
Nothing crazy. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that was the one thing is, a lot of people look at week one for the FBS teams in general. Not all FBS teams, obviously, because there are different Power 5 groups or Power 4, that play each other. But a lot of them look at it like, oh, this is where the FBS pays the FCS to come get their ass kicked, whatever.
Yeah.
This is still Montana State, the same head coach who has obviously proven that he's a winner and he can do it. But just like Oregon last year, both teams went on this amazing run, ended in disappointing fashion. But Montana State is not no joke. So,
And we saw what Idaho did to us last year.
Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
We have a curse from teams from Idaho, okay? It's Idaho.
Yeah.
We finally got to Boise State. And even that had to go to the end, But so, yeah, teams from the FCS, man, Oregon's had this traditional, meltdown.
Yeah,
we had 60,000 for the opener last year.
Wow.
And
scored 24 points.
Scored 24 points in an almost sold out stadium. Unreal.
Yeah. Yeah, good game plan, I guess, by Jason Eck, who is now the head coach at New Mexico. But not to rub salt in the wound, but Montana State did destroy that Idaho team twice last year. But
yeah,
we broke them for you. We broke their morale. They thought they had.
Yeah, we broke them.
Well, the other thing to note in that season opener situation is there's so many unknowns, right? I think there was just the unpredictability of it to some extent. By the time Idaho played Montana State, even there was a better sense and even more of a familiarity, right, between those teams being conference foes and playing. And also, that quarterback that started that game ended up breaking his collarbone and ended up missing a lot.
We broke him first game. Yeah. So.
It's just clearly that Oregon team needed to warm up, but once they warmed up, they were pretty damn good. So,
but again, Montana State's no joke. It was like years ago, or it was 2020 when the Spaz we had NDSU on the schedule for a home game, and I was worried about that game. I was like, dude, that's like North Dakota State, basically, kind of like right at that peak, kind of before they kind of dipped off, but that obviously got canceled. But I was really nervous about that one. I was like, I don't want to be like Kansas State and get embarrassed.
No, that would have been interesting. I mean, North Dakota State, they're a program that, they're pumping out NFL guys left and right, especially on the lines. But
Well,
yeah,
I think it was Montana State. So, do you have any? Do you have kind of like some concerns? Like you were talking coaching staff, whereas like Oregon actually maintained all of their coaching staff outside of um, Junior Adams, our wide receiver coach, but they got Ross Douglas out of Syracuse, who they just had an amazing passing offense last year. You guys lost your offensive coordinator.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
I guess rightfully so. I'm sure he took a promotion, he moved on, took a little pay raise somewhere,
Yeah, he went to Temple. The O-line coach also went to Temple.
Ooh.
The defensive coordinator went to UTEP after being at Montana State for several years. Also a former player at MSU. Yeah, defensively, that was a promotion from within. So that'll be probably a lot of continuity there. Sean Howe, who he was technically co-DC last year, so I'm sure a lot of continuity on the defensive side. Offensively, that is one of the bigger question marks. Pete Sturvik, guy who spent time at Colorado School of Mines and Montana Tech as well, which is down in Butte. I'm as interested as a lot of people are to see how they function. Obviously in the last several years, especially with Tommy Millott, MSU has been one of the top rushing teams in FCS, and I'm sure they'll keep running the ball. They have, they've made hats and T-shirts with RTDB. Run the damn ball. They average 300 plus yards a game on the ground. I'm sure they'll be close to that again this year. With that,
that's service academy level.
Yeah, yeah, they also have said they're going to try to pass the ball more this year, probably with the new system. Obviously, new quarterback Justin Lamson. They just named him the starter. Stanford transfer. They had a little QB competition in fall camp. I would say we all kind of assumed it was going to be Lamson, especially when they brought him into the program. But they had the competition and he won out, and so I'm curious. I'm curious to see how that all plays out on Saturday.
Well, that's what Dan Lanning was saying in his presser about 7 hours ago, I think it was. They were like, did you get film of this guy's former offenses? He's like, oh, we had to dig.
Yeah.
We had to dig like hard for that. We had contacts and they're like, we got good tape, but they're like, we don't know still.
Right.
And that's what I was going to ask Spaz. Like, Spaz, you remember Lamson, right?
Which one?
Lamson.
Oh, yeah.
When I heard that name, I was like, Lamson, Justin Lamson. I was like, man, that's so familiar. And I was like, wasn't he? And I had to double check, and I was like, oh yeah, he was. But he's like at least then. Now I don't know. Maybe you know more info. Has his passing game improved? Because at Stanford, he was like hit and miss. He was much more of a runner, but that was under the Taylor system. So
right, yeah. I think MSU coaches would probably say that yes, his passing has improved. It's in to some degree we kind of have to see it on game day, right? He's even admitted he was more of a run first guy, and also I will say like he didn't get a ton of excuse me. He didn't get a ton of opportunity, in college just due to injury, at Syracuse and obviously transferring to Stanford. I think he played in 24 games at Stanford across 2 seasons with only 4 starts. So, I think they want to definitely rely on his arm probably more this season as the starter. But, he'll still probably always be a dual threat guy to some degree, tuck it and run. But, yeah, I think I'm just as curious as anybody to see how they implement the QB run game and also just even this week Brent Vegan in his press conference said Justin needs to also understand there's so many playmakers out here. He doesn't have to do it all by himself, so he'll have to probably learn that as the season goes on.
Well, I'd say I'm interested. I'm interested too because 2023 it was off and on, kind of like here and there. They didn't throw it a lot with him. 2024 basically was like he was non-existent.
Yeah.
Maybe that's injury. I'm not 100% sure, but so yeah, there's like not a lot of.
It's a small sample size for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean that. Yeah, again, I mean that'll be interesting to see, especially MSU isn't unfamiliar with the quarterback that likes to use his legs, right? So I mean, I think if he does want to be more of a a dual threat or a guy that kind of can make plays on his own, I think that will fit right in as well.
Is there any news on the and I missed in the presser. I was trying to watch it during the beginning of work when no one was there. I was like just doing other things. But is there any info that you guys have of worried about like what Oregon's doing with their quarterback? Because Spaz, you called it. Well, you said last Friday we would know. We still don't have an answer who the starter is.
I thought he said yesterday.
No, not to my knowledge. There's no official. There's still no official word. Everyone's like, "Why is Dan Lanning being so tight-lipped?"
I mean, we assume it's Dante Moore, no?
We have always assumed that, but as no information has come out for sure or depth chart.
Yeah,
official depth chart, anyways. Like I've seen the Montana State depth chart.
Yeah,
I've seen the reported depth charts already for that. Oregon doesn't have an official apparently reported depth chart that I'm aware of, unless it just came out in the last like hour or two.
No, I haven't seen nothing. But don't they have to provide Montana State with a depth chart or something?
Is there a time frame for that? Like 24 hours, 72 hours?
Yeah, I would say that they're probably making it like a game time decision. They'll probably maybe not release something publicly, but I'm sure we'll find out Saturday morning at the very least, or something along those lines. I know, like Jimmy Rogers at Washington State is trying to keep it where he's not going to name his quarterback till he takes the first snap, I believe is what his quote was.
I've heard that before. I've heard coaches say that, like, you'll know when he takes the field.
I thought they had to. I know, like, for like basketball and stuff, you have to. It's like 45 minutes before or an hour before the game.
Yeah,
something like that.
Oh, we'll see, like an hour before the game. What time? You don't have time to prep for any of that. And what are you going to be like?
Yeah,
hey,
I think it's more probably like I don't know. I don't know if they will release something publicly, I guess. Like, I don't know if we'll get something on, Thursday or Friday or whatever. I mean, that'd be great. If I had more information, the better, I always think. But
well, that's why I told you, Spaz. I was like, I think this QB competition maybe is closer than we really think it is, and they have not. It could be trickery.
I mean,
but
I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, I'm not tapped in at all to the Oregon program, but I also have seen coaches do this before where they try to play coy. It ends up being the obvious choice that we all thought it was, but they just wanted to have the, call it a competitive advantage or, mind games or whatever you want to call it. I mean, at the end of the day, you got a guy.
I mean, no offense to Montana State or who is it, Oklahoma State or anything like that. It's like you really don't have to be a rocket science. I mean, but I don't know why Dan Lanning does this. It's like, it's not like you're playing Penn State.
Chip Kelly did the same crap, though.
It's just a football coach thing, honestly. Yeah. I think that's really what it is. It's not even as much like an opponent thing. I think it's just Dan Lanning is probably, an old school guy and, wants to play his cards close to the vest. But we all can see the 5-star he's got there. Like, it kind of feels like it's Dante's time. So I don't know. I'd be pretty
this
surprised.
Would be what? Novostad's third year as a backup in some form?
Yes. Third year. First year, I guess he would have been third string. Last year with backup. Like official backup, I guess. Or 1A, like 2A, 2B with more, and then basically. Something like that.
Yeah.
Second under Will Stein. But I mean, I don't know. Again, don't ask me. I'm not a coach. None of us here are coaches, so yeah, we just make assumptions of like why people do things the way they do. Maybe it's going to be Luke Moga. Maybe that's the surprise. Luke Moga is the starting
Has
quarterback
jumped
for Oregon.
Novostat and more.
Maybe that's the surprise.
Even with all Josh Pate and everybody's reporting that
Who knows?
Dante Moore looks like a stud, and
Yeah, no idea. So I heard Coach Vegan talk about going into the Autzen atmosphere, because to my knowledge of Montana, has Oregon ever played Montana State? I should have Googled that earlier.
They played one time in 1947.
Okay.
I believe that game
oh
was
shit!
Yeah,
I
I was like,
I believe that game was at Hayward Field, is what I was told.
Probably, yep.
yeah, that sounds about right.
So, yeah, I believe Norv Van Brocklin was on that team.
Yeah,
Holy
Brocklin,
crap.
right? Yeah, it was
I'm not
Brocklin.
sure.
Brocklin was like 46-48, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I think so.
Oregon did win. So I believe that's the only time they played.
Okay.
Wow.
I was like, I'm pretty sure we probably have, since we're in the same, obviously Oregon's in the northern region up there with them. And of course, in the 40s, the conferences and all that were totally different. The alignment and stuff like that was totally different. But is there, I was hearing him talk about the atmosphere, and he was talking about how, when he got there in 21, since then they've upgraded, obviously, facilities at Montana State.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were asking him, has he practiced to basically simulate the crowd noise for Autzen Stadium? And he was saying, we have been pumping it in practice, like just like trying to roar the speakers constantly.
Yeah, and he even admitted too, like he couched it with like, we're not going to be able to exactly replicate it, right? Until, it's kind of one of those things you're not going to be able to know what it's like till you're just in it. But they do, last season they were able to unveil, a bigger scoreboard, better sound system. So I think that's helping part of it, pumping some of that crowd noise in.
Damn it. I forgot we're still doing this.
But I think they're doing their best, and we'll see if they can handle it.
I think that's it. But I think there's a great example of that, and I think that's a smart move by the coach, is telling them, be prepared, because if they went back and watched tape, they probably had to go see the Ohio State fans go. Like, holy crap, for half the crowd size. But it is, and it's always interesting, a new atmosphere.
Yeah,
that's kind of always the fun experience, or a new team you're playing, but also the unknowns of what is going to happen. Because I'm not taking Montana State lightly. I was taking Idaho lightly last year, and 24-14, not exactly great, So.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's interesting. Everybody's pointing to that game. I just submitted my official prediction for this game, and
save your official prediction, because we have a special segment we have to start for week 1. We have our score prediction segment coming up. So
I won't reveal the score, but I guess just to put it kindly, I think Oregon will be fine. I'm sure. I think Oregon will be okay, because at the end of the day, like I think it could be a little sloppy offensively on both sides, just because there's so much newness, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I just think Oregon's athletes are gonna probably win out. But anyway, so
how many guys are you guys bringing on this trip?
That's a good question. I actually don't know the number off the top of my head.
What do you guys usually take for most of your trips? 50, 55?
Something like that. I honestly don't remember the number off the top of my head.
Whereas most of the bigger schools, like the Division Ones like Oregon and
Yeah.
Penn State, and those guys can pull 85.
Well, yeah, I mean, scholarship numbers, yeah, FBS about 85, FCS is about 63, I want to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they've got a sideline with 80 people, and you got a sideline with 50 people, and it's usually that's where the scales get tipped. Is this team over here can go 5 deep, I can only go 3 deep. So if 2 of my guys go down,
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, on that front, Montana State, I think likes their depth a lot because they do this thing called double repping in practice, where they're basically just cycling guys through constantly. So basically, their third stringers are getting as many reps as the first stringers, and so like they are constantly, they have this. Every team kind of says it, this next man up mentality, but they've had to rely on that. I mean, last season they had at least 4 guys I can think of with torn ACLs on defense.
oh
They
yeah,
they had to, reload. So I mean, you know, they're not used to having to rely on those backups and getting those guys. I've talked with assistant coaches. They have a lot of blowouts. Montana State does, especially at home against FCS team, because I mean they're just quite frankly one of the best teams in the country. But
right.
they treat those excuse me they treat those backup reps, third string reps as like, no, like you need to be on, like that's evaluation process. So they are totally relying on the backups as much with the starters, just to see who's the best available, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, they should be too. 4 torn ACLs on one side of the ball. That seems like a lot for any team. That's a lot.
Yeah, sorry, I'm fighting a cold here.
Well, it's starting. Well, it's hard. It's already going to start getting cold up north here pretty quickly. It's going to come on really soon. I know.
Yeah, I'm taking advantage of the warm weather as long as I can. But yeah, no, the ACLs were crazy last year. I mean, one of them came on an interception return against Idaho, one of the starting linebackers.
Oh, running it back, pop. Oh, yeah.
And one of their starting safeties has torn his ACL each of the last 2 seasons.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's tough. I've seen a few guys go through that. It's not fun at all.
My old ass couldn't even start running again. I already my Achilles started swelling up. I had to stop for like 3 weeks. I couldn't imagine if I tore something, I'd be done. I'd be done.
Right?
Especially an Achilles or an ACL or something. Jesus. Do you have any concerns with? Well, you said the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, it was an in-house basically promotion.
Water real quick. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Gutters. You're just jelly.
We didn't ask for your opinion.
Yeah, you're just jealous, Gutters.
Ow, son of a bitch.
Maybe you hurt
My
yourself.
leg. Yeah. It's called old.
That's what happens with aging. Things pop and hurt a lot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Defensively, you were saying, it's an in-house kind of promotion, basically, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there a concern? Because looking at the stats last year, unless I'm reading these wrong, there was only 9. Not only there was 9 interceptions last year. Average completion percentage just below 60% for the opposing team, but lower completion, like lower yardage, all that stuff. I mean, outside maybe the North Dakota State game, I'm not sure how that compiled in, game by game by game by game. I'm just looking at the cumulative number. Is there anything that concerns you defensively overall, not just against Oregon necessarily, but even for Montana for the season?
I mean, the biggest question mark probably of this entire team is the secondary. it's one of those situations where the guy who I mentioned has torn his ACL twice. Caden Dowler is starting at free safety, I believe, and so he basically is the only guy returning with starting experience. The other 4 spots in the secondary are brand new starters, including 2 redshirt freshmen at cornerback, and so that is by far the position group, I would say, for lack of a better term, that I would say has the most to prove, I guess, in some ways. And so I think these first couple weeks are going to be at, I guess, very best case for them, a learning curve, right? Going up against Oregon and South Dakota State. I mean, trial by fire a little bit. I mean, just to, I guess, to round out the defense, both starting linebackers are guys that got a lot of run last year, especially after their linebacker, the guy who tore his ACL on an interception return, Danny Louis, the Kepa. They got a lot of run rotating once he went down. Their D-line, I mean, they lost an All-American DN from last year, Brody Greavy, but they basically returned everybody else. And so their D-line, I mean, is as experienced as any position group on the team. So anyway, I would just say the back end is probably the biggest, biggest group on the defense, and probably the entire team that people don't really know what to make of yet because we haven't seen them all play together. So.
I think that's
we're probably playing two freshmen and a redshirt freshman in our secondary too, from everything I'm hearing and reading from multiple guys. But it's going to be interesting because, I mean,
they're taller.
Why not?
They're taller than the guys.
They're taller than anything we put back there the last half a dozen years, and they're all athletic freaks too. So it's like, yeah, I'm here for it. It's like we finally got some depth. This is Dan Lanning's first full crew of recruits that are like his guys from top to bottom, basically. So it's going to be interesting to see what he was able to do with scraps he was able to pick up, and the ones that Mario left behind, and now he's got his own set of streakers and freaks. So I think it's going to be a very interesting season this year. I think we're going to surprise people.
The only Mario left over too right now is Florence, right?
Yeah,
Jaleel Florence in the secondary. He's the only one still from the Mario era, I think.
Yep.
Period. But we don't know how the transfers are going to solidly fit in too until you see the game action. So
yeah, well, I mean,
I think our secondary is still kind of the question mark too, because a lot of them are young or transfers, and you're like, are you going to gel immediately?
Yeah. And these are guys that you could build up. So, I mean, but it could be very interesting.
I'm worried about, as Braden was saying, they've got some D-line guys. I need to see our O-line, unlike Idaho last year, actually gel and be an O-line this year. Well, if it was like Idaho last year, I'm going to lose my shit. I will literally just turn off the TV. I can't do that again. I can't. It's too stressful.
You got Emmanuel Pregnon, and you've got World and
but do they gel? That's the thing. I know we're not moving Poncho from center. I got that. But
no,
when you have a good, experienced, connected D-line going against,
and Matthew Bedford, this is going to be this O-line's going to be crazy this year.
We'll see. We'll see. Montana State might wreck your dreams, like immediately.
Yeah,
I see more than 2 sacks this entire game against any quarterback. I will lose my mind.
Yeah, I don't think we got to worry about that.
How many times did Idaho sack Gabriel last year?
3?
I think it was 3. Boise did 4. I think something like that. Something like that. It was like kill me. So it'll be interesting, and you're gonna be in Eugene for this game too, Braden, aren't you?
Correct. Yeah, probably flying there on Friday. So.
Oh, you guys flying in? Right on.
He went up from gas money to flying now. He went fancy on us now.
Yeah, gotta take advantage of the flights so we can get them.
Is there a direct flight from Montana? Or do you have to go like Las Vegas or like Boise or something?
I think we're going through Denver. Usually
Denver. Okay, Denver, Las Vegas. Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
Damn northern states. I know from mine, I always had to fly from. It was to Minneapolis or to Denver.
Well,
to go back to Houston.
Braden's got that sweet Dutton money.
Where was
living in Bozeman.
That's true. Where was
I've never seen an episode of Yellowstone, I gotta say.
Oh, really?
No. They play a clip from Yellowstone in one of the intro videos at the stadium.
Nice.
People go crazy for it, but yeah, nope, I've never jumped on that train.
Neither have I, so don't feel bad. There's 2 of us at least have never seen a damn thing about it, so
yeah.
I watched all 7 seasons of that crazy show.
You shut your mouth.
My parents.
I'm a nut for good Western movies and shows.
Let's see here. Spaz, you haven't asked anything. If we're here, let's get all the info we can because we're trying to learn as much as we can about Montana State in a still a brief.
Well, I know they're also very run heavy offense.
Yeah,
like 90% run heavy.
Yeah, I don't know what the percentages are, but they do return they return several running backs, but their top 2, Julius Davis, who was a Wisconsin transfer. This will be his 3rd season in MSU, though. He was injured most of last year, but and Adam Jones. They're basically co-starters. I know it says Julius, I think, on top of the 2D, but they're essentially co-starters. Adam, as a redshirt freshman last year, he's a Missoula kid, so Montana guy, but he was the runner-up for National Freshman of the Year at FCS last year, and he won the Big Sky Conference Freshman of the Year award. They call themselves the Evil Twins because one's 23 and one's 32, and they kind of just play off each other. But yeah, I mean they're both, I think, going to get a lot of carries. This year. It's interesting trying to predict we were voting for like the preseason all conference awards back in July, and everybody's like, oh yeah, Adam Jones, offensive player of the year. Like he was voted the preseason offensive player of the year for the conference, and I was sitting back here thinking like, oh man, like, yeah, I'm sure Adam's going to have a great season, but like Julius is probably going to get, going to share a lot of that load too. So, they're both, I think, and as long as they stay healthy, right? I think they're both gonna shine. But I mean, it also starts up front with that offensive line. I mean, they call themselves the Don Joy Mafia, based on the knee braces. But I mean, they just continue to reload. I mean, it doesn't matter if they send they graduate guys or their stud left tackle from last year's at Michigan State now. They've had guys transfer to Baylor and Cal and all that stuff. It doesn't matter. They just keep finding guys to put up there, and new O-line coach as well. But they just run you over for at least on the FCS level. So I'm sure they'll have a great run game again in 25, the same they did in 24 and 23, and so on and so forth.
But and for Spaz, because I don't know if he looked up stats. I have it in front of me. That's why I was going to be like, yeah, Adam Jones. Spaz last year, Adam Jones, 1,195 yards, 14 touchdowns, 6.4 yards per average. That's really good. Really,
Yeah,
really
exactly.
good. Now you are going to miss your quarterback, who is obviously a runner, so that's where Lamson can come into play here. Because Malott was as the quarterback spaz. How many yards do you think he had last year?
Yeah, I believe he had close to like 1,000 yards last year.
1,128.
Yeah,
Well,
That is
Yeah.
insanity.
and Scottre Humphrey, who's at New Mexico now, was their leading rusher last year, or one of their leading rushers as well. So they share it a lot, but they just run the damn ball,
That's insanity for a quarter. I mean, Service Academy quarterbacks don't have that much rushing yards a year.
I mean, Tommy was special. I mean, I'd encourage anybody, you guys or anybody watching this, to look up Tommy Malott highlights. I mean, when that guy gets in the open field, I mean, nobody's catching him, type of thing. He was so quick, freak athlete. I mean, he could basically do it all in the FCS. So
yeah, your top 3 rushers alone, Tommy, Adam, and Scottre, had alone 800 yards rushing. Just those 3, or something. I'm trying to do math in my head quickly. Like, I do have to ask now that I'm on this one. I'm looking at this rushing list. There was a special player who had 4 attempts for 18 yards. Do you know who that is, Braden? And is he still with the team? Because I want to hear the announcers scream it.
4 attempts for 18 yards.
Yes.
And he is on last year's team.
Yes.
Can you give me position?
That is a good question. Hold on, let me. It's just this is off rushing stats. Let me open it up here and see what it is. Does it say what he is? He's a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver.
So it's probably on an end around.
Probably.
Or reverse.
And apparently he's a sophomore.
Okay.
Local kid from the state of Montana.
Okay. Man.
You're like,
I'm gonna feel bad if I don't get this. Man.
Not like their wide receivers get a lot of burn neither. So
this is not putting Braden on the spot. I'm not trying to do that, because trust me, if you asked me the same thing about an Oregon player last year, like 4 carries, I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to think of a Montana guy, because it's probably not Taco, I would guess. But is it Taco?
I want to hear the announcers scream it. Taco Dollar.
Oh yeah.
Taco.
Okay.
Taco to the end zone.
I wasn't sure if it'd be that obvious, but yeah, it is Taco. Okay, Taco. Yeah, Taco's dynamic, man. He's one of the best punt returners in the FCS, and he was one of their top receivers last year. So yeah, he's been and they've been throwing him out there since he was a freshman. So he's one of their top offensive playmakers for sure.
Yeah, he just popped up there in the rushing stats, and I was like, Taco.
I did not remember him getting 4 carries. That's crazy.
I hadn't seen his photo or anything, so I was like, Taco? Like, what?
Yeah. No, yeah, and that's what he goes by. I mean, he
why not?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Go Taco. Why not? Jeez, I would.
Yeah, we kept fishing for the origin story on that, and from what I've read and heard, he kind of just one day decided to go by Taco when he was a kid, and people just went with it. And
is it more of a nickname than it's not an official name?
No. His official his first name. No, his first name is oh god, I don't remember the pronunciation of it. I think it's McLean.
Okay.
And so, but he goes by Taco, and his brother's on the team as well. Caden.
That's why when I pulled up his photo and I saw it was a white guy and from Montana, I was like, I am confused. Extremely. That was the first time I saw it right before I pulled it up for you. I was like, what? I was like, his parents must have been like on munchies or something that night. And be like, Taco, let's go. I don't know. But I was like, what the?
They did not name him Taco, but he's just
Okay.
by that. And I'm sure they'll call his name several times on the PA because he's going to be involved quite a bit on offense and special teams.
Well, that's good. Good for him. I always like the local kid story too. You know, I say local is in the state because where is Montana State University exactly?
So it's in Bozeman.
Is it in Bozeman?
Where I'm at, yeah. Taco's from Billings, which is about 2 hours east of here.
That's local.
Yeah,
That's
so
a local.
not too far away. Yeah.
Yeah. I always like the in-state stories, you know, where you go to the school nearby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he probably had a couple other hits here and there between maybe even like North Dakota State, you know, maybe for something. And he was like, no, I want to stay home.
Yeah.
I like this team. And
a lot of guys, you know, they really pride themselves on keeping top Montana kids, you know, in state, and even, you know, Adam Jones, and the guy we just talked about, is from Missoula, which is where the University of Montana is. You know, their rivals. They pulled a few guys down from there, you know, to become Cats, which has been an interesting talking point among the fan base. But yeah, no, they love. They love their Montana kids. I mean, I think that's what made Tommy Malott so special for a lot of Montana people, is not only because he was a great player, but he's from Butte, you know, which is about an hour and a half from Bozeman. And so he, you know, the kind of, like you say, kind of the local kid, you know, just adds another element, I think, to a lot of these fans, you know, cheering on the teams, you know. Another local guy from Billings, Paul Brott, in the nose tackle, he's going to wear number 41. Which is kind of their legacy number that they give a senior, Montana senior every year is chosen. And, you know, it's representing, you know, Montana being the, I believe, 41st state of the Union, and also, you know, the 1941 team. And it's kind of a semi-recent tradition over the last decade or so that they've kind of bestowed upon a senior. And so they really, and like, every run out before a game, they'll carry one player will carry the American flag, one player will carry the Montana State flag, and for home games they have like a kind of a semi-formal, you know, handing off of one person handing the Montana flag to the new player or whatever. And so anyway, they really make you know, try to make it as special as they can, I guess, for the Montana kids, you know, playing for hometown or a home state team.
I like that. I like that. That's something we always criticize Oregon about for multiple years here and there. We're like, I know there's not a ton of, just like Montana, there's not like a ton of like quote unquote top players like Oregon. There's like, Spaz, what would you say? Every year there's like 2 to 3 ranked players, basically.
Oh yeah,
something like that. So I mean, the point is, every year grab a local kid and give them a spot, you know, like kind of thing. It's nice. But also in Montana, the difference between Montana,
well, we had Patrick Herbert here for a while.
Well, obviously we had Justin and Patrick, so yeah, we've had the Herbert.
Patrick spent like 8 years here.
It freaking feels like he did, even though he didn't. It felt like he did. He didn't. He only spent like 4 to 5, but he felt like he was there forever.
And some of the Herberts came through Montana State as well. So there's another connection there between the two schools.
There you go. Is Montana State? It's an outdoor stadium, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's also part of the problem. Montana recruiting. Hey, come play in Montana. You're gonna die.
Well,
you know?
I think
it's not as bad as North Dakota State.
Well, no, North Dakota State's indoors. They have the dome.
They have a dome in Fargo.
Oh, that's right. They do have that dome.
Yeah. But North Dakota, you will die in the wintertime.
Well, so I will say one thing is Montana State just opened an indoor practice facility, which I think will be a game changer, not only in recruiting, but also just, you know, in their livelihood, I guess, practicing and, you know, off season.
Yeah, they don't have to freeze all the time anymore.
Yeah, off season and in season. And, you know, I think you're talking to guys that have come here, yeah, the weather can get pretty crazy, especially in the wintertime. But they sell these guys on the atmosphere. The atmosphere for these games is, you can say, oh, it's for FCS or whatever qualifier you want to put, but like you come here for Gold Rush or you come here for Cat Grizz, which by the way, College Game Day came here a few years ago for. It is. I'll say this. I'm sure Saturday is going to be one of the loudest environments I've been to. You go to a Cat Grizz game or Brawl of the Wild, as I guess the official term for the rivalry. You go to a Cat Grizz game in Bozeman or even in Missoula. That is as loud as a college stadium is going to get. In terms of just the fervor and the passion and people. And like I said earlier, like people really care about these teams and. I think a kid walking into that, even if it is, 10 below or whatever, that's something that I think a lot of guys want to be a part of. And,
Yeah.
Obviously, things fall through the crack or, there are top kids from Montana that, do leave the state and go. Like there's a kid from Bozeman that I covered in high school who's a receiver at Nebraska now. They're a kid, they're, other guys, as with any state, right? Not everybody's going to keep talent, hometown or home state talent in there. But I do think guys not only from Montana, but there's a lot of California guys on this team. A lot of guys from much warmer climate, a lot of Texas players. So I think they rely at least on the team culture that they have built under Brent Vegan to sell that. I at least is what I've been told. So.
I can't disagree with that. I think that's the biggest thing is it's coaches, the school. I'm not going to use the word tradition because Oregon, according to every other football fan in the world, Oregon has zero tradition, which I'm not going to disagree with. It's kind of a new tradition, so I'm not going to disagree with that. But it's the atmosphere, it's the environment, it's the game day experience. It's like all those things kind of wrapped into one. And then you look at weather. Well, Oregon, it rains all the time. They played in monsoons, basically, like on the field. So it's like, if you're from a sunny beach, California city, you want to go play in a puddle?
Yeah. Come
Hey.
here in November when we play USC. The last time we played USC at Hudson, it was like a torrential downpour.
No, that was
my
Cal.
kids.
That was Cal.
Was it Cal that my kid was
Yeah,
at
that was
2
Cal.
years ago?
That was Cal with Herbert, or no, with Knicks where it was rain, but also there was Mariota where they were literally sliding through like 3 or 4 inch puddles of water on the field.
Yeah, because my kid came on the post game show with us.
Okay, that would have been Knicks then. That would have been Knicks.
Yeah,
that was where they had like 6 turnovers because no one could hold on the ball. It's just wet and everyone just like fumbling. I was like,
yeah, there have been playoff games, in December that I've covered where guys will, theoretically you stop when you go out of bounds, but they'll just keep sliding because there's so much snow and ice out here, and yeah. So
then if you can see where the out of bounds is,
right,
especially with like ice or like if it's wet, where like all the paint gets washed away basically, and it's like did you watch Week 0 this last weekend?
Are you
it was terrible.
To the Ireland game between
Ireland that field, yeah. Irish.
That was
be ashamed
brutal.
of yourselves. You repainted the field even at halftime, and it was still awful.
I think, part of it, I think, is probably the soccer pitch element of it in terms of different grass than probably not used to hosting American games.
It's got that arc to the field. Yeah,
but it's like they painted it twice, and it was still awful. It was like, I couldn't see it either. I was like, I bet the players were confused too. Like they're like, where's the line?
Yeah, second half was a lot better just when the rain stopped and they could actually run their stuff.
Yeah, they were actually able to get some passing in. Because...
Well, that too, but if you're supposed to run like specifically like say a 9-yard curl route and you don't know where 9 yards is, I guess your body can kind of estimate.
Yeah.
But is it really 9 yards? So
to say, yeah.
You do kind of depend on
Or
the
is it
lines. To
6?
kind of,
Yeah, exactly.
but that's why we love the sport of football, especially college, because college, whatever.
Well,
Anything
you'll have
can happen.
to you'll have to go check out the Michovsky Center as soon as you get there. It's definitely a must because there's so much you get to see and experience and for a minute, even if it's just kind of checking it out. The walls are littered with everything. It's just huge. It's a big indoor food and drink fest before the game.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's right next to the stadium, and then you just walk across and up the ramp, and you're into the stadium.
Gotcha. Yeah. No. I guess.
Fair warning: our concessions suck.
Way to
I swear,
promote
Oregon is the worst place when it comes to concessions for some reason, man. At football games, I do not understand it. I thought it would change over the years. No. Some of the food and stuff like that is better and stuff. Some of your options and whatnot, but it's just slow as molasses. I don't know if it's they hire the poor and slow or what or
Spaz. All the money went to the uniforms.
something, because those lines are atrocious, bro. It don't matter what place you're at any time of the game. If you don't get there within a half an hour before kickoff, anytime after that, you're screwed. You will literally miss a quarter of the game going to get a beer. I swear to God, it's insane.
I hate that. That happened in Texas Tech. That almost happened in Texas Tech.
What is going on here?
Texas Tech felt like it took
place.
I'd go at the end of a quarter. I'd go down to the bar to grab like 2 beers, so I didn't have to wait again. And I still got back, and they're like, the fourth quarter is already like a minute in play, and I'm like,
yeah,
how?
You're like, God damn,
how?
Yeah, for one of the most money infiltrated schools in the country, with Phil Knight backing and everything, and they still. Oh yeah, and the other thing is Wi-Fi. Ugh. I hope the media area is better. I've heard the media area you get on that special broadband.
Oh yeah.
So you get media. I know it always says media access only when I go to the games. I'm like, ooh, that's that special one. I finally get that one because if you're sitting in the stadium.
Yeah, Spaz tried doing a live stream with me from like his car, like outside the stadium. Like he's like, I'm outside, I'm good now, and I'm like, dude, it sucks. Absolutely.
Yeah,
sucks.
Literally across the street, and I've got good Wi-Fi up and down the highway and everything going to the games, the whole shebang. I could do a live stream all the way down.
So when you
get there,
yeah, what are you most excited then, Braden, to see? Just in kind of recap and a closing kind of a way, what are you most excited to see? One of like Autzen, but also especially Montana State. What are you most like kind of excited to see with this new team? Kind of like the same with Oregon. It's like it's a new team. So what are you really looking for?
Well, on the Autzen front, I'm excited to just kind of be in that environment because I've heard a lot about it. I've been to Eugene before. I haven't been to a game at Autzen, so that'll be interesting. That'll be fun, I think. On the MSU front, I'm just, I'm interested to see kind of just on a base level how they execute. I know that's kind of a boring answer, but there's just so much unknown, especially offensively. And with a new play caller, new quarterback, I'm really curious these first couple weeks, especially how different or similar they look to the teams that I'm kind of used to in the last couple of years, and how Justin Lamson, how effective he is as the guy, because he's never been the guy, in college at least. And so this is, I guess I should also say that, like, regardless of how this game goes on Saturday, I don't think that will be indicative of what this MSU team is. I don't think, like, yeah, I mean, obviously they could pull the
If you
upset.
lose 48-13, that's not the kind of team that you really are. Exactly.
Yeah, like I think, obviously they could pull off the crazy upset or whatever, but, like, if they lose by 40, like, I don't think that's gonna be like, oh, like MSU's cooked, like, they're not gonna be a threat in FCS. Like, if anything, like, I remember I was in Portland when they played Oregon State at the Timbers Park in 22, and Brent Vegan was pissed after the game, not necessarily because they lost by 40. I think it was 68-28, I believe was the final. He was mad because they didn't execute their stuff, and it wasn't, it was like missed tackles, or they weren't running plays, how they had drawn up or whatever. Like, it's just kind of basic execution stuff, I think, is what they're looking for most of all. And because, if it's just a matter of the Oregon has better athletes, or crowd environment or whatever, like, that at a certain point
you can accept that. Yeah,
it's the number 7 team in the country who was, the best team in the country for most of last season. Like, it's one of those things where you just kind of have to, just kind of let the chips fall they may. But in terms of MSU, I just think they're probably looking for for everybody to gain this experience, in this environment. I mean, this will be the biggest crowd a lot of these kids ever play in front of. It'll be kind of from an exposure standpoint, obviously, kind of on the national broadcast and all that, but on the Big Ten Network. But yeah, I'm just, again, I think just after all this waiting, right? We get pieces of information through fall camp and off season and all this, but now it's the time to actually see what all this is about. And so I think offensively and defensively, I guess just all 3 phases, I'm curious to just, kind of see how much progress they've made, I guess, in kind of retooling this roster this offseason.
Yeah, especially like you said, getting new coordinators on both sides of the ball, and is this coordinator gonna run the same type of offense, or are we shifting to a more pass friendly offense, or what kind of offense are we gonna see?
Yeah,
I mean, if anything, 100% absolutely fair what you just said, because look again. I had to sit through the game, do the first live stream by myself after Oregon, Georgia. That was not a neutral site. That was a Georgia home game where they got completely blitzed. And I was like, let's see what happens. And then you make adjustments. You can have a bad game, a really bad game. What does the coaching staff then do to correct those issues? That's kind of the thing. Yeah, it's like week 1 to week 2. What do we do now? So I get your point. Same with Oregon. I'm like, all right, if we see this, what are they going to do week 2 to fix those things? And that's the excitement and the alarm a little bit, like the worry of, like, are you going to be able to fix maybe this glaring issue that you notice? So I 100% with that. I'm like, we're going to find out, I guess, really quickly.
Yeah, hit me up Saturday after you get to the stadium. I'm going to try to be down there about 10 myself.
Okay.
Pick up credentials. Maybe we'll go over to the Machowski. I'll show you around a little bit.
Gotcha. Will you be in the press box as well during the game, or?
That's my goal. That's either that or find a spot down on the field somewhere by the end zone area in the seating. I don't know how Oregon does that. This is my first experience, so it's like this is gonna be kind of cool. But yet I'm kind of like God, I hope I don't mess up or do something wrong.
You're just gonna get lost.
Go to the wrong
You're
spot.
gonna get lost in some tunnel somewhere. You're like, how did I end up here?
I'm pretty good navigating around the stadium, but I've never been up to any of the press boxes or anything, so this will be a whole new experience for me.
Gotcha. Cool.
It's
The
gonna
good
be
thing is if it rains this year, I go hide in the press box.
no, Spencer's gonna kick your ass out.
Right? Well, Spencer's only coming to a couple games.
Well, I know, but he'll be to those games, and then he'll be like, "No, you get out." Spencer's the Locked On Oregon host.
Okay, gotcha.
And Locked On College Football, formerly Locked On Pac-12, before
Gotcha.
the demise.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's which by the way, Spaz, I maybe live is not the place to tell it. Spencer will be on next Tuesday.
Oh, good.
He did confirm for the Oklahoma State
Nice.
kind of preview. So that's good. I'm just happy we're getting some people on here. And Braden, we've highly appreciated
No,
it.
Troy, that's the duck in the motorcycle. That would be cool though to run out with them like that.
Yeah, you don't have that special pass though.
No, dude, I'd take two arm swings and I'd be on the ground.
That's a Nike pass. You gotta have the Nike pass.
Blue quad.
Oh God. But yeah, for Braden, we again short notice, and obviously then you're traveling here in just a couple days. I assume you're leaving like Friday.
Friday, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just a couple days. Obviously it's not like a super long trip. I mean, it's not bad. Even going to Denver, it's not terrible. I know, but still, you got to travel. You got to go do all those things. So we appreciate you taking this short notice time to come talk to us.
You guys flying into Eugene or Portland and driving down?
Flying into Eugene. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah, Denver or Las Vegas, they have like direct Eugene flights
direct.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is nice. That's convenient.
There, yeah.
Yeah, I remember last year I flew into Eugene to cover track nationals at Hayward, and I just found it was just easier, and it's more convenient, flying to Eugene instead of flying to Portland and driving down, just kind of.
Yeah, because then you got to rent a car, you got to drive down, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, you fly to Eugene, it's like Uber.
Yeah, Uber everywhere.
Or at least a rental car would be cheaper and just whatever.
Right.
Maybe game days or events like that everything goes through the roof price wise.
Did they make you guys? I was seeing. Did they make you guys do 2 nights in the hotel? When you guys were looking for hotels?
I mean,
because
we usually opt for 2 nights in a hotel. Yeah, just because it makes it a little easier on travel on our end, and second night, like kind of. I mean, this game we probably we probably won't run into it with this game because of kickoff time, but sometimes.
Why is every hotel I'm calling wants me to do 2 nights, and most of the local fans or whatnot only want to do 1 night, come down game day, leave the next day. And they're like, every hotel I've called is like, must do 2 nights. It's like, that's weird. I never had that issue last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
But I mean, obviously cover media and stuff, you probably want to do 2 nights unless you have to get home or something for something.
Yeah, for these road trips, we usually get there Friday, leave Sunday.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and depending on the flight and connection too, because if you're gonna get stuck in like Denver or Las Vegas or something for a night, it's like, I mean, maybe not Las Vegas, but if you're going to be stuck in Denver, because Denver, if no one's been to Denver Airport sucks.
Massive too.
Denver Airport absolutely is the freaking worst.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
it's not as bad as O'Hare
No.
or New Jersey's Newark. Not as bad as those two, but it is on my shit list as one of the worst airports I've ever flown through, and I've had to go through it way too many times.
Yeah.
Spaz spilled something all over everything. That's why he's like, "Oh crap, mop, clean up." Mrs. Spaz, help him.
This might be an opportunity for me to say I'm probably gonna have to bounce here soon, guys. But
no problem, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
That's why I saw the timer at like 1 hour, just over an hour, and I was like, this is about time to bounce on our end also.
Yeah.
An hour is a good amount of time to cover a lot of different topics, and after that, we're just then bullshitting at this point.
Yeah.
In
exactly.
some ways.
But yeah, definitely. Thanks for getting back to us. I took a shot in the dark, hoping I might reach you, knowing it was only a few days before the game, and it worked out.
Yeah. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
And
I met some new connections in the media world, dude. It helps.
and I cannot let you escape. As if you're a hostage. You're like, I unplugged my Wi-Fi. I mean, Spaz.
Yeah.
It's our worst time of the year. So last year Spaz screwed me because I was in Paris and I didn't do a score prediction for Michigan State because I had no Wi-Fi and I was in Paris, France, and I left 5 or 10 minutes before they asked for a score prediction because I wasn't hosting the show at that point. So he was like, "You lost." So we tied at the end of the year. I overruled him on that one. So we tied, split the season. Drum roll. It's our favorite time of the year. Score predictions where no one wins anything because we're not making money over here. So I mean, like,
Now we got to rebuild our channel all over again.
This is a tough one, to be honest. This is kind of a tough. The first game of the year, this is tough because I believe last year we were like Oregon 55, Idaho 10 or 13.
Yeah.
Yikes. That panned out well. That panned out real well. So, I don't know. Spaz, do you want to go first or do you want to let Braden, the guest, go first? Because he was going to talk about earlier.
Braden
He already
go.
made a score prediction. So,
let Braden go first.
Yeah, so the one I submitted today for our papers game preview section, I said 45-20 Oregon, and I think it spreads right around like 27.5 or something. I think last I checked, but I could totally see this being a game where even Oregon's up, 45. 42-7 or 42-13 or something going into the fourth, and MSU scores a late touchdown against backups or something. But it's one of those things where I don't know if MSU is going to get bowl raced. We'll see, but I think that makes sense on both ends in my mind, just in terms of the talent Oregon has, but also I guess the talent MSU has as well. So about 25 is probably the margin. I could see it being bigger though. So
it is right now Oregon minus 29.5.
Okay, gotcha.
Which
I saw 29 this morning.
Does not mean a lot though.
No.
That's a big that is a big line. That's a big line.
30, wasn't it like 30 plus for Idaho last year?
Probably. It was probably like 32 or something like that.
It was some insane
It was
number.
high. It was a high number. So I was like 29 and a half. That's a big ass number too. So
And we were like, oh, what is Dylan Gabriel going to be? We were all freaked out.
yeah. All right,
So,
Spaz, do you want to go or do you want me to
sure,
go?
I'll go.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be as brutal. It could be, but I don't think it'll be as brutal as that Oregon State game a few years ago. I don't think it'll be that bad based on, what you guys came through the last couple of years and the talent that you have and leadership now, even though you got a few newer pieces. But newer pieces usually tend to give you success when you've been on a climb like Montana State has the last few years. But I think Oregon in the end will probably still somewhere around 48-13.
You said not as brutal, but you just predicted a worse beatdown.
No, the Beavers beat them by 40.
Oh, well.
I'm only saying 35.
I thought you were talking about I thought you were talking about his. So I'm like, oh. Well.
No.
I'm
Beaver game he covered a couple years ago.
I'm going to be a little more realistic because we don't have a starting quarterback named officially.
Uh-huh.
Again, unless something's come out while we're live, probably not. That leads me to a bit of confusion. And Dan Lanning, outside of the Portland State game, 81 points, I think it was.
Yeah.
Outside of that, which was basically off all screen passes, it's not going to be that. So I'm going to go a little bit more in Braden's kind of camp. I'm going to go around, I'm going to say 42-17. I think Oregon's going to pull off a little bit. The third quarter, maybe they explode a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're going to kind of dial it back. There might be like a late touchdown or something to kind of like close it a little bit. I don't think Dan Lanning is going to like try to tear into them, or anything like. It's a decisive win.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's the first week.
Right.
Get it over with. Get out of there. No injuries. That's the big thing. For both teams, no injuries.
Yep.
It's a non-con. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Overall, in the sense of your conferences. So.
Yeah.
Although it does now matter in the, for like us, it does matter in the college football rankings, the way they.
Well, it does, but apparently winning your conference titles doesn't matter a goddamn thing either. Ask Ohio State.
Yeah. Yes.
Shut up, Troy. If Troy's still here, he's an Ohio State fan, so he's going to rub it in.
If you get a Northern Illinois over Notre Dame upset, it's going to cost Notre Dame some points.
It was 34-8 at halftime, Troy. It was 34-8. 34-8. Get it correct.
Did we have a touchdown? Oh, we did score.
Yeah, I believe we did the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Damn it, Troy. Get it correct. Old man. All right. Well, Braden.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, we appreciate it a lot. Trust me.
Sure.
You covered way more information than we could have ever done. By far.
I appreciate you guys having me, and this is fun.
Yeah, so DM me Saturday when you're there, and we'll try to hook up.
Okay, sounds good.
Enjoy your time in Eugene.
Safe
enjoy
flight.
The game. Yeah. And enjoy the game as much as possible. However it goes, whatever it is, just enjoy the time there. I mean,
yeah.
If you guys win, rub it in our face. Tag us on Twitter and be like, "You guys suck." It's fine.
I'm more of a neutral observer, so I'm just more focused on getting my story filed. So
Okay.
I'm sure you won't hear from me either way, but should be fun.
I'll hear from enough people.
I'll
All right,
hear
Braden.
from him if we're in the press box. Yeah.
All right, Braden. Well, I appreciate it, and we appreciate you. And good luck to Montana State this weekend. Not that much luck, but clean, safe game, no injuries, safe travels, and enjoy the time there.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll do.
All right. Well, maybe we'll see you again sometime. Maybe we'll get a home and home in Montana State. We should do that.
That would be fun. Yeah.
All right, Braden.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Have a good one. Hit up Spaz on Saturday.
Thanks. Yeah, you too.
Cat, shut up.
Is your cat fucking losing his mind over there?
Yes.
All right. Spaz, I had a couple other points to do, but if you want, let's just cover some of the other topics on Thursday.
Yeah.
Let's do it Thursday night. We've been going for a long time. I want to get out of here, so
Yeah.
shut up, Troy. Go fuck yourself. All right. Well then, everyone, thank you for being here. Spaz, any final words and where people can find you?
Yeah,
Braden.
right down there.
Well,
below.
Braden dropped out of the back screen, so if you want to go over some other topics quick, we can do it. I was going to get back there to talk to him, but he dropped out.
No, we're all right.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right, let's do a little Thursday night, little quickie. Yeah, I said quickie.
He said quickie.
I said quickie.
I said he went to the quickie mart. Habib.
Don't tempt me.
To the quickie mart.
I have too many clips. Did you delete it?
No, I
did you
did not
screw up my clip track?
I might have moved it accidentally, but I don't think I screwed it up.
Oh my god. I don't know. It's somewhere in there. I don't know. I'll find it later. Anyways.
Blame Canada. Fuck it.
No, on this show. Quickie Mart one I'll accept. No, this one. But yeah, no, everyone, thank you, Braden, for being here again. Everyone, Braden's Twitter profile is actually in the description below, so you can go there, click it, and go follow him over there. Send him some duck love or duck hate, one or the other, whatever you want to do. But that's beyond me. I don't control that. So.
Hey, we got up to 11 viewers at one point for tonight.
Woohoo!
We're getting there.
I have no idea where to do video cuts in this one because there was no set topic list. So
No,
there's
we
probably
just
gonna be
kinda
no
random.
cuts.
Yeah.
That's fine. Because why? We'll go live Thursday again.
And we could do you could do the score prediction.
Well,
Cut, maybe.
I have it written down.
You could do a cut on that, maybe.
No. Well, yeah, I have it written down. But yeah, I can do a cut on that. My trusted notebook that will I won't be able to read by the end of the season.
Yep.
Because my handwriting sucks.
Probably better than mine.
It's questionable. I can't read my own after like 2 weeks. If I look back at a note I took, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing?
Here we are again. We're back up to 11. What do we talk about?
Montana State.
Is there anything else you wanted to cover?
I'm going to make a short about it maybe tomorrow if I do some good video editing. But I have the other show, so I'll see if I can. It's kind of old news now, too, is Shador sucks. Shiloh got waived because he threw a punch. And Gabriel's the backup quarterback.
Yes. And several Ducks made cuts to their teams, including Tez Johnson.
Wait
Tez Johnson made the 53-man roster, and so did Nico Reed in LA.
And then Trayshawn Holden got waived.
He got waived.
By the
Cowboys.
Way to go, Cowboys. Once again, what another brilliant decision.
We were discussing that at length on my Cowboys YouTube show this morning.
Yeah, I saw that mid-afternoon. I was like,
a lot of our Cowboy guys were like not thrilled with that.
I'm like, he had a good preseason. I mean, like, at least keep him on as like the 5th.
There's talk that if he makes through the waiver process, that we'll bring him on as a practice squad.
And I think some other team is gonna pick him up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It definitely would not surprise me.
Nico Reed, though. Yeah, Nico Reed, undrafted, getting to the 53-man roster for the Chargers. That was a little like, I was like, oh, good for him.
He had 2 interceptions in one game.
I know, but I was like, good for him, because, I mean, he was undrafted, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but the biggest news, of course, was the hate mongers and the fear. Here's a clip. Here's a cut. The rage baiters, the race mongers. Shiloh got cut because he punched a guy. Like, no, probably because he also sucked and barely about to make the team, undrafted, and then he punched someone in preseason on the field and got ejected. Shocking.
Yeah.
Are you fucking shocked by that information?
No.
If you think it's anything else, you fucking goddamn lost your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's the alcohol. The unfiltered has come out. Troy just got fucking excited and rock hard somewhere in the chat. He's like, here we go. This is the Ben I like.
Wow. Yeah.
We're going to have a unique audience when this grows.
Yeah, for sure.
Once again, to you, the race baiters, the rage monsters, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Shador sucks because Shador sucks. Not because of his fucking O-lineman.
He needs peanut butter with it, Skippy.
That brings all the dogs to the yard.
Oh, no. You did it. Now you got to play it. I dare you.
Oh, welcome in, everyone. Welcome.
Drugs. Look out, drug train coming through. Who wants some drugs?
This was supposed to be a family-friendly.
This show has gone off the rails.
We're already fucked.
Oh, great.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Everyone's saying the O-line is the problem. Did you saw that sack where he took like 20, he lost 22 yards or whatever?
Yeah.
It was identical to the game against BYU in the bowl game where he lost 23 yards and the field goal kicker missed the kick because they literally went from like the fucking 8-yard line past the 30.
Yeah.
No, it was basically identical. That's a Shador thing, not an O-line thing.
No.
So everyone who says blah, 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 go fuck yourselves. Just go fuck yourselves. Sorry, is there any other pleasant news?
Now let's go have some fun football Saturday. I can't wait.
Now that we got that out of our system randomly in the last 15 minutes.
Thursday night's the first game.
It's true. I still don't have a streaming service. And I'm glad I didn't because YouTube TV apparently is in a dispute with Fox.
Yeah, they're having payment issues, I guess.
So I'm like, well, maybe I'll go back to Sling. I still haven't subscribed. This last weekend I just streamed shit. Like I found YouTube streams. I was like, this works.
Yeah, I can't wait till Saturday neither because Texas is gonna come into the shoe and dog walk, just like Mario did.
Well, that's an interesting one, Troy. Troy can agree. That's an interesting situation. Obviously, Ryan Day and Hartline now working together instead of Chip Kelly, but Patricia, I mean, everyone likes him. Let's see how that defense goes. You know, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one too. And Arch Manning can. What I mean, I know he started a couple games, but
will he live up to the hype?
And on the road.
Or will it Johnny Manziel 2.0?
Oh, did you hear the fucking weirdest news I saw before or earlier?
What?
Did you know for the first time in FBS recorded history, anyways, one coach this weekend will be coaching from the press box or the coaching booth, not the sideline. A head coach.
Really? That's weird.
Can you name that coach?
Bill Belichick.
Wrong, because his girlfriend's pregnant. But apparently, they're expecting. I'm like, fuck, kill me. Kill me. No, but not Bill Belichick. First FBS coach ever recorded to coach from the coaching booth.
Billy Napier.
Negative.
I have no clue then.
It's the Cristobal special.
Cristobal's coaching from the breast box?
That's what I've seen.
What?
For coaching booth, whatever up top. The first time allegedly ever recorded. Okay, well, that might have been a special circumstance, Troy. I don't know. But yeah, apparently there's no reason for it. He's just like, I'm going to go up there and do this weekend against Miami.
Because he doesn't want murdered by the Miami student section when Notre Dame dog walks him.
Maybe. I don't think Notre Dame's going to dog walk much. Now, Miami, they might.
I don't know. I still think they go in. I still think they beat Miami.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure they.
Carson Beck's dog shit.
I am pretty sure they beat Miami. I am definitely pretty sure about that.
Yeah, Miami fans are gonna lose their shit. They're gonna jump off cliffs. Right?
I always loved all the Notre Dame fans like, it's gonna be such a hostile environment. I'm like, no one goes to their games.
Yeah.
Half the crowd is going to easily be Notre Dame fans. All right. Well, shit, we just talked about a bunch of shit. I don't even think we have to do Thursday then. That is freedom fucking night. Thank God. There's football to be seen. What do we got Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday. Oh, Boise State, South Florida. I'm interested to see what Boise State looks like. I am interested to see what they look like.
And then there's a Friday game, I believe, too.
Well, yeah, but there's more Thursday. Nebraska, Cincinnati.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Isn't that Dylan Raiola?
Yep. I think there was another one. No, I guess that's it for Thursday. Friday, though. Yeah, Friday. See what we got Friday. Friday we have Auburn Baylor.
Oh, that'll be a good game.
At the same time, you have Georgia Tech, Colorado.
Oh yeah, that is
At the
Friday.
same time, you motherfuckers.
Where was it? I saw Robbie Ashford's the starting quarterback.
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest.
Yeah. Because
Seventh-year-
everyone was like the Auburn and South Carolina transfer. I'm like Oregon also.
Yeah,
Oregon
he started at Oregon, people.
But he focused on baseball.
Yeah.
You know, he was really focused on baseball. Even at Auburn, I think he was mostly baseball. Wake Forest plays. Is it Friday night or is it Thursday? Hold on. Thursday night. I saw Wake Forest and now I can't find it. Where is it? That'll be interesting to see because we've never really seen Robbie Ashford play the position.
I think he started a game last year not last year, but the year before for Auburn.
I think he did, but like I didn't watch him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's somewhere in here. Whatever. I'll see if I find it later. I'm not worried about it right now.
Never. I think he played the Iron Bowl against Alabama that year.
Did he?
I think he got murdered. I think so.
Oh, he plays Friday. Kennesaw State, Wake Forest. Friday night. Good for him.
All right.
Good for him. For school, finally starting quarterback.
So, depending on what happens with Saturday, if I go with Ike or whatnot, I may live stream on the way down a little bit.
That's fine.
Maybe we
Just,
can do a pregame.
Straight Quacking off channel only.
Yeah.
As of, again, reminder everyone, this is the last multi-stream. Now we're going to go straight Quacking off channel only on YouTube. So, once again, if you're on the Exploring with Ben and Sam channel, go over to the Quacking off channel and make sure you subscribe. Link is in the description of this video. It's a hyperlink. Click it, go there, subscribe, and we'll see about the network issues too, Spaz, that you'll have on Saturday, depending where you are, because otherwise, I will be here live Saturday for post-game live. And if Spaz can make it, awesome. If network issues, it'll just be me.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Definitely, maybe. I'm excited. I want to, and that's why I know if I go with somebody like Ike, I'm not under any time, so I can actually go do the post-game press conference and things like that.
Well, he is. The drugs got to take effect so he can get you back to the murder caboose.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a strict 2 or 3 hour timeline. I mean, that shit wears off eventually.
Right.
Allegedly. Relax, you two. Relax. All right. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
40 minutes. Jesus Christ. What are we doing?
All
right.
We're
All right,
in
everyone.
shape.
We will see you. I'll see you on the Saturday for the live post-game show following Montana State.
Hit like and subscribe that page for your notifications. Because if I do go live Saturday on the way down, you can all join in. Oh my God, are we serious?
I still need to make a cut of this. Spaz is stopping.
Yeah.
Spaz is stopping.
It's Derek. It's Derek. I I bet $100 it's Derek.
We'll see. I mean, Derek always did come across kind of gay.
Yeah, I know, Troy. It's either Derek or it is Troy, and he's got 2 devices.
This Troy is not. I don't think he's that capable. He's got like sausage fingers. He can't flip through accounts. And he definitely can't control 2 devices.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Derek. Got to be Derek.
We'll have to wait and see until the next episode. All right.
Yeah, because he won't give us an answer. Yeah.
No, yeah. It's fast. At this point, we'll have to wait for the next episode. It's fucking 11:30 here. Stop keeping me up late night, old man. Stop it. We'll see you all Saturday for the live post game, Montana State at Oregon. But as always, guys, what do we say?
Fuck Washington.
You're a son of a bitch. Love it though. But he's right. Night, everyone. Have a good one.